Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fridays at 5. I'm Karen Taylor. Welcome to our tiny audience. We have a couple more people joining the room pretty soon, but I'm talking about that because this session is actually dedicated to the question of how do we connect? How do we know where we are in the color vowel online world? So that's today's topic. And I was just talking with our current participants about this just minutes before pressing record, and now with Jennifer in the room. Hi, Jennifer. To say it's actually very telling. Like, our Fridays at 5 started off as an event during pandemic that was weekly. So part of it was that it was very regular, very predictable schedule. And now with things getting busier and busier, we hold it once a month. And we've also moved to a more cohesive, say, professional development platform. But in the midst of all of that building and professionalization, people may not know exactly how to find what they want to find and go where they want to go. So today's session is dedicated to a bit of that, especially with a focus on the color vowel journey. And that is a teacher's journey in professional development, toward feeling comfortable integrating the color vowel approach into all that you do as a teacher, not just for pronunciation, but for improved instruction and improved learning across the board. Okay, so no small feat. Hey, Jennifer, how are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I was grading videos.
Grading videos.
And got lost actually I was in the middle of recording a response to a student who said, oh, well, if I say Hiroshima, nobody will know what I'm saying because it's kind of a weird word. And I said, well, actually, yes, it is a Japanese name, but it's very famous.
Yeah.
But there are different pronunciations of it because people have to decide where they want to put the stress. So
that's a great
anyway, it was an interesting.
I love it. Now, could you say Hiroshima for us in Japanese?
In Japanese, Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
Yeah, Hiroshima, Hiroshima. So like we have very slightly teeny tiny pitch changing. So and Hiroshima da 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 like and do mi like that.
Hiroshima.
Yeah.
And that does not to, we're not on our topic, I know, but
now sorry about that.
No, but now I need to know, does that change if it's at the end of a sentence? Like, does it?
No, it's very, how to say, we have Japanese pitch changing, but it has a kind of a rule, but we don't know. So but of course, like in question, so like have you been to Hiroshima? So we 広島に行きましたか? 広島行った? Blah blah blah. So this way that up means a kind of question. Yeah, and down is just general statement or negative sentence.
So the Hiroshima, Hiroshima is.
So yeah, generally it's Hiroshima, and like if so like okay, one asks have you been to Hiroshima, and what Hiroshima, like that. So and 広島に行きましたか? Hiroshima? So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but generally Hiroshima.
Hiroshima. Yeah. And then what's interesting is the English pronunciation that's completely opposite.
Yeah.
Hiroshima. That would be the opposite one. Hiroshima. Right? Hiroshima. And then we also have, what's the other one, Jennifer? Hiroshima.
See, you get it in your head. So there's Hiroshima, and then there's Hiroshima.
Yeah, Hiroshima.
Any others, Doug?
No, that's Covered everything
Those
I
are the
got.
two, I think, Hiroshima and Hiroshima.
So that's quite a contrast, though, because most alternate pronunciations in English, you'd be playing with the primary and the secondary stress can switch places. But in this case, we've got Hiroshima and then we've got Hiroshima. And I mean, that's amazing. And they do sound like really different words.
Yeah.
This is what we do in the color vowel approach. This is the fun we have on a Friday, right? And so, yeah, if you want more of that, that's what we do in our courses. If you're watching this recorded session, you got a taste. But we are here to talk about, where are we? Where am I? How do I get where I'm going? So we're going to explore that both in the micro and the macro. If you'll bear with me, I want to give just a short presentation, and Jennifer's going to collect mental notes of things she wants to add. So we're going to do kind of a 1-2, and then we're going to get very practical once we take questions from Doug and Now, who are representing the teachers out there who are color vowel teachers. So we'll just kind of take this step by step in the journey metaphor that we have here. Let's start, if you don't mind, just with colorvowel.com, because it's so memorable. You always know how to get there. And if I can show you briefly how that fits together with the rest of our questions, then I will have done my job. Okay. So this is our website, colorvowel.com. This is a homepage, and you can certainly, send people here who are new, and they'll learn about some of our big upcoming, events, such as our third topic coming up here this month, conversation repair. This is a workshop series. It's super affordable. It's super flexible. Each one of these with 3 different sessions themselves. And then you can go back and watch the recordings. So lots of options in our fundamentals series. So, but what I want to draw your attention to is who we help, because I think that's a great bridge to finding your way. In this case, let's focus on being teachers, as we are. If we go to teachers, I would bookmark this page if I were you. And if you look, I mean, you can create folders of bookmarks, or you can create bookmarks, right? And so I would create a color vowel folder so that you can find specific things and go back to them. That's just my suggestion. When you're on the teachers page, if you come down, you'll find some resources. 2 of these are resources. Here's the organizer. Here is a chant. But if you're a trained teacher, you're going to find a lot more resources if you're trained, right? And that will be up here in resources under the library. That is a password protected portion of our website that is only available when you're level 1 certified and upward. Okay. So I'll just say that there are some freebies here that you can send your friends or your students to get. Sorry, right here, right? But beyond that, when you come down to the plan, now we're really, getting the first question answered, which is, what is the plan? And then I can figure out, where am I? In the plan, I'll make my screen a little bigger for you so we can really look at that. The teacher's journey has been around for several years now, but we recently updated it, and I'll show you briefly how. Essentially, you can be a community member. Maybe the first step is simply knowing about us. That's the white space over here. A community member is someone who is invested enough that they've purchased a product or they've purchased a course. And either way, they receive a copy of the color vowel approach. When you have that, then you can join our private community in Facebook. And that's a very rich community, very active, very responsive. And we make that little barrier, or that little, I don't know, that door you need to unlock is necessary, because then we know everybody in the room knows the basics because they have the book, so that we don't have distracting general questions that basically we say, oh, that would be for maybe a public site, but this is a private site where we know everybody knows something in common, and that creates the community, the basis. Okay. So beyond that, when you're in a course like Color Vowel Basics and complete the technique practicum, that is level 1, and that's becoming a color vowel trained teacher. That's I know what it is. I'm learning how to implement it. I have, I've been trying it and I've been working with a coach on these techniques. And that is level 1. And you receive a certificate, a badge, and access to that digital library when you receive your certificate. Okay. But level 2 is the one that's gone through a few changes. In fact, it's developed immensely in the past year, and it's been really exciting for us and for our participants. And the main change is that we now have 4 core requirements to complete the level 2 certificate. And I'll show you those 4 core courses in just a moment. The 4 core allow for us to know that you've gone deep after going simple over here in basics, sort of the simplicity of the techniques and the simplicity of the method. We go deep into the cores, and the cores allow us to look at everything from spelling to phonemic awareness to our brain-based learning, which I'll show you. Okay. You get to choose 3 electives from the many electives we offer, and we have new electives in 2023. I'm really excited about to tell you. Okay. The coaching practicum is a major part of the level 2 certificate. And that's when you gain experience with a mentor and with real students, actually giving coaching feedback in real time, as well as in a recorded format. So you have real students that we provide. You get to watch a master trainer, usually Jennifer teaches this course with our students in it, meaning English learners. And then those coaches get to work one-on-one with learners in a video format with back and forth feedback. Okay. And finally, the teaching practicum, which is an 8-week or more process that involves teaching your own students, collecting videos, working with Jennifer, working with me and the committee to demonstrate that you really know how to implement the color vowel approach when teaching a general lesson or a specified lesson like a pronunciation course. Okay. And then our level 3 training certificate has also been developed over the past several months, and it's now, I believe, either up now or it's coming soon, and Jennifer will give us an update on that shortly. Okay, we'll talk more about that. As you start your color vowel journey, I think this takes you to our courses page, but I'm going to go down just a little bit further to this, because if you notice the colors on the journey, they correlate to the colors in the map, right? So as you move down, you move toward the green, which is level 3. We have this purple level 2 and a blue level 1. Okay, so we're going to spend a little bit of time with this document today. You can download it right there, and I encourage you to go ahead and do that for yourself if you open up a web, a browser page, and that way you have it. Okay, so we're at colorvowel.com. If you go to who we help and find teachers and scroll down, it's right here. All right. Jennifer, before we dive into using this document, would you like to add some notes and comments on this graphic and what it means?
I love this graphic, and kudos to Laura McIndoe, who created this for us. I think it's just it really shows everything that you need to accomplish, plus what the benefits to you are. And I don't really have much to add except the idea of the color coding, which goes from this to that PDF. We've tried to carry over that same color coding in our learning platform. So it's kind of subtle, but so we're hoping, and I hope to make that a little bit more explicit as we continue to refine our learning platform. But so that'll help guide you. I don't know that I have much else to add to that. I hope you're going to keep going down on
I am.
the page. Okay, because
yeah. So the benefits that you see down toward the bottom of each of these stages those are real benefits, and we want to be sure you're aware that they're there. The certificate, of course, is an acknowledgement that you've completed something. Some teachers use that for professional development credits. Many simply like to have that sense of completion. That's wonderful. The digital badge is something that teachers and our partners use on their websites and sometimes on somewhere like LinkedIn to show their achievements. And then a third major category of this benefit is the photo and bio on our website when you reach level 2, or your name and affiliation on our website when it's level 1. Let me scroll down to show you what that looks like. We do provide some insights, just some sort of treats here. Our calendar is here. We're going to be looking at that shortly. But down below is a wonderful world of our teachers. And if you scroll across, you'll see our level 1 with names that continue for a long time. That's kind of fun. If you move into level 2, you can start to see, how many teachers are in that part of the journey. This is, of course, affirmed by the teacher that they even want their name or photo on the website. In the case of those who don't have photos here, sometimes it's just that we haven't gotten to get their photos yet. So we're still filling in the spaces. If you are looking at this and you are a level 2 core or certified teacher and your name isn't here, talk with us, because we're basically working with a brand new website. We've got a lot of catch-up work, and sometimes there are little gaps. Okay.
Yeah.
But Jennifer works feverishly to make sure that this is as accurate as it can be.
Yeah.
Can
I just say, when we rebuilt the website, we made updating this so much easier than it used to be. So if you have a picture, if you have a bio, you need to update which school that you work for, just send me the text, let me know, and I can easily get that up there.
Okay. Yeah. And so it's nice. You can see how each of these has a bio attached to it. You can learn a little bit about the person, okay, where they are. In the case of our partners like Keenan Rhodes, this is a link to her website, so you can go visit her site. In fact, I'll take a moment just to show Keenan's a wonderful partner. She's an accredited licensed partner. And if you take a look at the bottom of her page, you'll find that color vowel level 1. She needs her level 2.
She does. She needs to update. Well, she can get a core train badge.
That's right.
We can give her a new badge.
Yeah. So we have a couple badges that we've built as sort of interim badges. Wait, don't do that. And so if you take a look, you'll see a distinction between core trained and certified. And certified is the complete certification. Core trained is having finished those 4 core classes. So before I leave this part, I'll just show you, we do have our level 3. Lynn Swan is an apprentice trainer. She's teaching for us now. We'll soon have more. We have our level 3 training program up and running. Now is going to be joining it. That's pretty exciting. We've got several other teachers joining it. And so this will become a less lonely place. It won't just have Lynn in there. So if you are someone who, wants to train teachers, and that seems like a calling, that's the level 3 that we'll be exploring with you. Okay. And then our master trainers are here. A lot of familiar faces, I'm sure, Dr. Barr and so forth. Okay. So let me come back up and just come back to the core concept right here. Okay. If you were up above here, we saw there are 4 core, 3 electives. So the 4th core, if you're curious and you remember that we used to have 3 cores, the 4th core is our sound awareness course. And that's a course taught by Dr. Barr that at first was an elective, but now we see is just so central to teacher development. It's a multivitamin that typically teachers don't receive in any kind of training out there. They don't get it in their master's degree program. They don't get it in a certificate. And most say either volunteer or teacher training programs simply don't have the capacity to teach sound awareness or phonemic awareness or phonological. Phonological awareness is not just knowing how, say, sounds are in a word, but rather what's happening when somebody actually speaks. And so it's quite deep and quite relevant to what we do. So we added it. Okay.
Can I add to that, Karen?
Yeah.
Once we started doing our coaching practicum, teachers were marking that listening to learners and identifying the errors they were making And then sort of understanding why they were making those errors. Sometimes they felt like they didn't have quite enough background to do that with confidence. And so, but we found that the teachers who had gone through the sound awareness class had much more of an ability to do that, didn't struggle as much. And so that's why we felt that it was really, it belonged in the core of level 2.
That's right. Any questions so far from Doug or from?
No, not for me.
Great. If you've had a chance, I hope you've had a chance to download that document that I was just talking about. I'm going to show it. I love this document, also developed by the multi-talented Laura McIndoe. We talk a lot about her because she can't make it to these sessions usually, but she's the creator of Color It Out. And then she's not only this master ESL teacher, she also is a graphic designer by practice and training. And so she does a lot of our, most of our graphic work actually. So this document's wonderful because we are a growing we're a growing organization, and that means that we've got only a very small number of people, known as 2 right now, with Lynn helping us out with instruction. But with 2 of us running behind the scenes, I think it's only responsible to let all of you know that we count on you just as much as you count on us to make sure that we know where you are in the journey. So this is an interactive document you can type into. You would start with your name. So I'll put Karen Taylor right there. Okay. And we, between you and us as an organization, we would hope that our records match your records. And so it's a bit of due diligence that you can do for yourself to say, where am I in my journey? And then when you're finished filling out what you have, you can complete this and turn it into us at customer support at colorvowel.com. Jennifer's on the other end of that email, and she then can take it and look at what we have in our system.
Yeah. We'll do sort of a proof of that, and we'll if there's any discrepancy between what we have and what you have, then we'll get in touch and make sure that our records are as accurate as possible.
Only 2 years ago, let me think about this, October 2020. Yeah, only 2 years ago, we were still only running level 1 training workshops. So
we were just starting some level 2 things, but they weren't really level 2. They were more like additional workshops kind of thing.
So our offerings have exploded into, Jennifer can do a count while I talk about this, but I think more than 15 different courses, something like that. And that means we're catching up on the technology of being, having a registrar and being able to generate records easily. And we're doing it, but this is a document that will help you help yourself and us at the same time. Okay. So as you move along, the basics, this is our asynchronous on-demand course. Doug, you've been here long enough. You remember when I first started offering the basic training as a video series called Refresh and Expand.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that was, as it turns out, I didn't know this at the time, but that was a bridging concept to what we offer now, which is a fully on-demand, self-paced basics course of my videos. And so anytime you're talking to, someone new to the Color Vowel concept and you want to give them a recommendation, this is the first step that anyone should take. That is a 6-hour video-based, on-demand, self-paced course. And it comes with quizzes, all kinds of ways to make sure you understand the content. So this is knowing the Color Vowel approach. And then the practicum is doing the Color Vowel approach. So this is the live sessions where you meet either with me or with Lynn Swanda, and we ensure that the participant really knows how to put these ideas into action. So that's the open hand, that's flooding, that's using some basic rhythm and chants through warming up with the chart, all of these sort of basic strategies along with the very important color Vowel organizer, just sort of nailing down how it works, what to do with it, etc. Okay. So that graphic organizer for learners and establishing in the classroom, like what baby steps to take to get started. And then basically you're set up to take bigger and bigger steps on your own until you want to come in for level 2. With level 2, again, these are the cores. We're going to look at those in the course site in just a moment. And then the electives. And again, there are many to choose from, coaching and teaching. So if there's nothing else here, any questions or any more points to make on this document, Jennifer? Okay. Any other questions from now or Doug? Okay. All right, good. Then with that in place, I would save that somewhere and then I'd come back to the website. Here we are, back where we were. If we come down or up rather to the top, I'm going to widen my page a little bit because I made it bigger for you. Okay. From there, I would recommend going to courses. When you go to courses, I'm not going to click on this yet. I want you to notice something. When we go to courses and I click, it opens up a new tab. And without a lot of fanfare, it opens up a learning platform that is new for us. So anybody who's taken courses with us in Canvas, or maybe before that in Google Classroom, because we've transitioned through all these tools through the years. What can we say about Canvas, Jennifer?
I miss Canvas, but
no, we're not.
Oh, we're not in Canvas anymore.
There we go. So that's my favorite line. It's from the Wizard of Oz now.
Yeah.
It's a cultural reference.
Yeah. For those who don't know, the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy says, we're not in, oh, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. So anyway.
So clicking my heels won't do me any good, eh?
No, I'm afraid
Everything else
not.
will take
Yeah.
you forward. So we're not in Canvas anymore. We are in this, what we're calling, and we have to call it something so we know we're here, the learning platform. And the best way I can say you're in the learning platform is that you will see the word learn at the beginning of the URL. So we've been at colorval.com. And when you click on courses, it opens up a tightly related but different website. That's the learning website. Okay. And this is what's important to know about this is that it's one-stop shopping for purchasing a course, accessing a course, participating in a course. And that's exciting because before this time, we were cobbling together multiple tools like Eventbrite for buying the course, and then email to communicate about the course. And it was easy to lose the email and so forth, right? So this is your one-stop shop. Whenever you enter for the first time in any course, you'll end up with a user ID and a password of your very, very own. And so that's what you see here with Karen T. I'm going to go from right to left to get through this because it actually is, I think, most beneficial that way, because this tells me that I'm signed in. If I'm signed in, then I have a dashboard, and my dashboard reflects the courses that I'm in. Now, of course, I have a lot of courses because I'm in a lot of courses. So I have 1, 2, 3, etc. But when you first start, it'll have the 1 or the 2 courses that you've done, right? Or the 3. Basics is the first course that many people will have if they're a teacher. But they might have other level 1 kind of experiences like the fundamentals of intonation. They might add pure English practice because that's a course for teachers and learners. It's primarily for learners, but we want teachers there to experience the color Vowel approach in action. And then as you move through the journey, you'll see others, right? Maybe the live practicum that goes with basics to finish the certificate for level 1, then level 2 courses, etc. Okay. Down below, also important is to know we have communities. If you've been participating in our Facebook community for some time, you know it's wonderful, but we also know that only some percentage of people participate in Facebook. And it's not, we don't want to have to count on people going through that barrier to join Facebook if it's not in their comfort zone. We all have different opinions and feelings and contingencies about social media. So these communities, and let me just skip down to this community is the most important today, the Color Vowel Teachers community. These communities allow us to communicate with you and for you to drop lines and questions here. So this, if you want to think of this as a substitute for Facebook and you're not a Facebook user, this is your place. If you do use Facebook, I recommend bookmarking this and coming here as well. Okay. So, we'll find there are some wonderfully rich conversations in Facebook, that private group, but this is a place where everybody can come. Okay.
And can I
yeah.
just add, so all of this is in development, and it's going to change. In fact, that dashboard that Karen just showed you, I'll be updating that, and you'll have more of a sort of, if you do streaming, if you use Hulu or Netflix, it's going to be more like that kind of experience. It's going to be really pretty.
Wow.
But anyway, with the communities, the nice thing about the communities is that there are no ads. So if you're getting sick and tired of going to Facebook and being bombarded by ads for everything that you've been looking at on Amazon for the last 24 hours. This is ad free, and it's also very private. Nobody but other teachers who are in the community will see it. And so if your online presence is more of a concern for you, then this is definitely a friendly place to come and post your questions, comments. We can start over on the side. You see where it says spaces. That's sort of like threads or categories. So if you want us to add one that has something to do with elementary or ideas for K through 12 or ideas for literacy, we can easily create a space, and then we can keep all of our conversations organized that way. So we're hoping that this is going to grow and develop. And the wonderful thing is this is also a place where you can have your easy access to events like this. So you just go to the event space and you'll see little cards that you can click on, which will have a description and the link right there to come to the Zoom room. So
that's the biggest, and I talked with Doug and now before this session started, and this is how they came today. Right through the learners, the teachers.
Thank you.
However, well, I'll mention that in a minute. So home, you'll see everything that's been posted as you scroll, I think. See more, you'll see everything that's been posted, regardless of whether it's a topic or a general comment. And then spaces basically filter them into groups, right, Jennifer?
Yeah, so if you scroll down more, Karen, scroll down more.
Okay, those are all announcements. Sorry, I'll come home.
Yeah, come home and then scroll down.
Come down.
And you can see, they're right there. You can also, when you click on a post, you can, and you want to be sure that you get notifications, usually email, about any additional posts or replies. You can always like it. And, you can see that Karen has following over there. You can check and uncheck following. So if there's, if we do develop a K-12 space and you don't really want to receive notifications when people post there, you can unfollow it.
Yeah.
And then you won't receive any notifications for that.
Now, Jennifer, we're gonna do a little worky question in front of the people today.
Okay. Oh, Peggy. Hi, Peggy.
Peggy's here. Hi, Peggy. Good to see you. When I posted today, hold on here, just today, I posted this 47 minutes ago, and I asked our guinea pigs, Doug and Now, if they received an email notifying them about this, and they did not.
Oh, well.
So we'll want to just note to self, look into that. But I think what you're telling us is that everybody sees this as following because I'm automatically following myself, I think, something.
Yes, you should be
But-
following your own posts. Yeah.
But if you make a habit of coming to the teachers community for the time being, you can decide what to follow and not to follow.
Mhm.
But I don't think you're receiving announcements about these kinds.
And that, as Karen says, we're still learning ourselves. I think if you go to your profile up in the top right, I think you get to pick your notifications right there. And so if you're not getting notifications, go to your profile, make sure it's checked to receive notifications for communities. If that's checked and you're not getting them, let us know, because then we have to do a little more sussing to see what's going on there.
That's a great point. So again, this is right up here where your profile is. You go to my profile,
Which you're in right
profile,
now. Mhm.
and notifications is right there. Okay. It's also a handy
So-
place to look at your certificates. That's another great advantage of this learning platform. I completed a certificate back in August. Granted, it was my own course, but but you can then view it. And I completed a little course that I was modeling for our teachers in Costa Rica. This gives me, there we go. See? Beautiful. So now I can download that, but I always have a place where I can go back to find this certificate. It has a unique ID. It's verifiable by any governing, an organization that wants to see that.
Right.
So I feel very proud of myself.
And we're going to be taking advantage of these. As you know, they used to be generated by hand right here. And now we're gradually setting it up so these are generated automatically when you finish a course. And as you take a course with us, we'll give you instructions on how to do that. And if you keep track of these, when you go for your level 1 certification, your level 2 certification, you're going to be able to provide us with all of these certificate numbers as proof that you have completed that entire level, and that will you'll use that information to get your certificate for your certification. So these are just certificates of attendance usually for all of our courses and workshops, but then your actual certificate for each complete level is a certificate of completion for that. So it's
Great.
a little different.
All right. So that's a little bit about that. We've been going from right to left on our top nav here. My dashboard we've looked at, those are my courses. Shop is going to take you to our product website. So it's going to look very familiar and yet it'll be different. Another tab opens and you can purchase any materials you're looking for. Okay. And that's its own little piece. But again, you can browse. Browsing is always the way to see everything. Okay. So I'm going to take that concept of browse back over one tab back to this page. And we're going to go to the browse tab for the Learn website. That's our course platform right there. Learn. Okay. Browse. When you hit browse, you can see everything. We do toggle through it, but it's all courses is the default. If you move across, you'll see we can sort by classes for learners, like Pure English Practice, the Fundamentals Workshop Series, which is starting this coming week, by the way. I'll be in my third group, which is Conversation Repair. That's our third topic of the series. You can purchase it by itself, by the way, or you can bundle all three, value of 60 for just 55. And you'll receive access to the other course spaces that have recordings. So you can either have participated live or asynchronously, super flexible. And this has just been super wonderfully fun because I'm able to tap into what's on your minds. The participants are different each time. The content is more or less the same, but I stretch and morph it to fit the participants of that day. And so we get deeper each time. Okay. The level 1 courses and bundles then are here. And again, we combine basics with a practicum course. And some people come immediately and bundle the two together. So that's why you see 3 items there. They're all related to each other, just the basics. This would be just the practicum after someone's had the basics, and this is both together. Okay, so if you're, again, talking to new teachers, it's worth you knowing that. Okay. Always at the bottom of any of these pages, you'll see a link to our interactive calendar. And I find it's a wonderful tool because you can look for what you're looking for and you can search. So I'm going to activate, I've been looking at this recently where I sorted it, but you see what I'm doing. I can filter out or filter in what I want to see. Everything from community events all the way up to level 3 coursework and workshops. Okay. When I have everything highlighted, then everything shows up. I can look at it as a list. I can look at it as an agenda, as a year. That's kind of wild, right? When I mouse over, I can start to say, wow, they're really busy. Oh, they teach mostly on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You know, you can see patterns. But the monthly view is quite useful. This is November. Again, it's color
Karen.
Huh?
Go to the right and click the little right arrow of today.
The little right arrow of today.
Yeah, right there. One more time. Ooh, look, 2023.
Hey, 2023 is here. Okay. So yeah, if we go to 2023 by the year, we can certainly see here's 2023. It's a busy year. It's an exciting year coming up. You can see that TESOL is in March. That's our big professional conference. This year it's in Portland. We've got, you know, hopefully we'll have another kind of major event down here somewhere. We're talking about that. But we have everything charted out for levels 1, 2, and 3 now, and you can sort and look any way you want. Okay, so there's the agenda again, and here's the list.
Can I say one thing about the filters real quick?
Sure.
So those you saw Karen clicking on those colored bars, that filters them out. If you want to filter them in, if you say, okay, I only want to see level 3, you use the next one and say where it says by sub calendar, you can just click on that. And so pick what you want to see, and then you'll only see those things. So the top is to filter them out. And the next thing where it says filter is to filter them in. This is to restrict what you see.
Okay, if you were interested in anything that involves color Vowel yoga, now you've got just yoga by that search. If you say rhythm, you can see rhythm is mentioned in the Speak Confidently course because we do it a lot. It's in Rhythm and Chance, of course. It's in Sound Awareness. So, you know, some of these are going to bring up course names with that word and others with it in their description. Okay. So I know a lot of people have been interested in level 2 electives. And again, rather than me going and unclicking all of the other colors, tedious, I could come down here and just say, I just want to look at the level 2 electives this year, right? Consonants starts in January. I feel like I should have a song about this, but I don't. I have something like Route 66 in my mind where you name all the states and it's going to be like consonants in January, grammaring in February, right?
I can say that we've got a couple of new ones because people have taken our full course load there, but our new courses this coming year are grammaring, which is based on the workshop that I did last January, but people asked for more ideas, more time to digest it. So we have this 4-week course. We're bringing back textbook integrations. We haven't had that for a while, but people have been asking about that course. And then making prosody practical in June. This is based on the fundamentals of spoken English workshop that Karen's doing now. So for those of you who want to spend a little bit more time with those ideas and that content, you can come here. And then I believe, and then we're repeating, the ones that get repeated are consonants and literacy, since those were our most popular ones, most requested ones last year. We've tried to give a variety of times. It's still early enough. So if you look at this calendar and you say, I really, really, really want to take vocabulary, but I just can't do it in the evening or in the morning, let me know. Most of our electives have been scheduled for 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. If you want us to try and move a couple more to morning or afternoon time, Eastern time, to accommodate your schedule, please let me know. I do want to try and lock this down within the next week to 10 days, because I'm going to start putting those courses up in our learning platform so people can start registering. So please, if there are any changes that you would like to request, please let me know as soon as possible.
Then Jennifer@colorval.com.
Yeah. Or
Also-
customer support at colorval.com.
Also recognize that this calendar is so fancy. It's listing everything in Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Time, but you can change it to match your time zone. So wherever you are, you can make it, Mountain, for example, and then everything shows up in your terms. Okay, so just be sure you're aware of which time zone it's set to. I imagine it's pretty smart, but it's always good to check. Okay, especially
That's great.
Isn't that great, Jen? No,
Yeah, very useful.
in fact,
Yeah.
you can come here and go to.
Especially since, the listing, Karen, can you just pick on any course there?
Okay, I just want to see one thing. After you click all time zones, then it goes international. Okay. So just notice what happened when that's not checked, it only shows United States
US.
time zones. And so you need to come out, click show all times, and then you're set. Okay. You can
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere. We can go to Reykjavik. Okay. I'm going to avoid that right now. But yeah, so let's not go to Reykjavik. Now I'm worried that I'm going to scare myself. I have to go reset this sometime. Now, what do you want?
Just click on any one of those right there. Yeah, that's great. So you'll notice in the description, it'll say course dates, and it'll have the day of the week and then the dates. And that's according to Eastern time. So somebody like you now, that very well could be Thursdays, and it'll start on February 9th. So that won't change, but but you'll see it at the top. If you've set your time zone, it should reflect the time, what it's going to be for you.
Yep.
So just to let people know that description does not change.
Yeah, this is dynamic and this is static.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
you go. Okay.
Thank you.
Wonderful. By the way, this is pretty cool. You can, and I recommend this, I'll tell you why. If you use an online calendar like I do, Google, you can add this to your Google Calendar here, so that you have it in your calendar. Because one little piece that we'll still be adding at some point, I hope, on our course site is when you register for a course here, it does not have a calendar integration right now. Okay, so you can do that from the calendar, and that's pretty neat. Okay.
Can we just quickly go over level 3, Karen? Because we only got about 5 minutes left.
Sure.
And
So,
I do want to show people about level 3.
Sure. Okay, so we're back on the main website, and we're under who we help, and it's teachers again. So if we're here at teachers and we scroll down, we'll get to the plan again, and you see level 3. We are super excited that we're launching level 3 this year in 2023. We have several candidates already in the pipeline. Very exciting. And so this is a 3-part journey, but we're going to be building it out. And right now I'll be showing you what that's really like. The best way to see that in action is to come down first and to notice that our down, I'll just show it to you this way, there we go. So we have trainers coursework, which consists of several courses. the training practicum, which consists of several experiences, and then the capstone project. Okay, up more closely, you'll find this in the calendar. Again, we can just go here and filter for level 3 coursework and take out level 2.
And you need to you crossed it out in the calendars. Yeah,
Sorry, right there. Okay, there we go.
go.
Ah, so they can cancel each other out. I see. Yeah. So here we are. Jennifer, you want to narrate?
Yeah, so the coursework for level 3 comprises 3 courses. Easy to remember. So there's the linguistics of color vowel, which will always come first. And then that's a 5-week class. And then we have methodology of color vowel training, which covers sort of the pedagogy, our principles, and with a real focus on what happens in level 1 and why it happens and how it happens. Because remember, we're focusing on getting you to where you can train other teachers. We're not training learners, we're training teachers now. And then, and those are both either going to be hybrid or live session classes. The third class is the logistics of color vowel training. It's going to be mostly online, an asynchronous class, but there will be sort of a kickoff class that talks about what you're going to see. It'll be an overview, 1 hour. And then, and if you can't make it because of the time, just let me know. And then at the end of that, the time you have to work on it, we'll just have sort of another get together, a review, and a Q&A session. It's all about how you set, if you want to be hang out your shingle as a independent trainer, you can do that. How you would train for us, all of the sort of business and licensing details. And in level 3 classes are repeated twice. So we have them kicking off in January and then kicking off in August. Logistics is smushed between the other 2 in the fall. It follows the other 2 courses when we do it in the winter. But if you have any questions about the courses, let us know, but we will be adding it to our learning platform very soon, and it'll have all of the objectives. You will not see the training program or the training practicum or the capstone project on the calendar, because those are things that you will be scheduling independently with us. You will see them in the learning platform, and that's where you'll be able to enroll. But the scheduling of those depends on lots of other factors, and on all that will be explained on the learning platform once it's posted.
Great. Thank you, Jennifer. Let me just take this out for a second and add one more just logistical fun thing. When you're looking at a course, for example, let's just say the coaching practicum. In most cases, Jennifer has already created a link. Let me see here. Am I wrong?
You need to enroll?
Yeah, to enroll. That's not
It's at the very bottom, but nothing in 2023 has a link yet.
That's right.
And
Okay.
they all say registration link coming soon.
Okay.
So,
right.
and I promise it will be soon.
Okay. So if we take a look here, I just want to make my point for, say, November 9th. If you look at any of these, whenever you see a repetition, within a month, it's the same course. So here's, for example, maybe I don't have a great example. Let's see.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you had it right there. Right there.
Okay. So here's March, for example. Here's spelling. And then you come back down and you should find
on the next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, and I just can't.
Oh, that's the end, because that was the end. That was
right.
Yeah, because
so
February is such a short month.
Right. So here's coaching. Those are the same course. So, but in any case, when you're here, that's where you'll usually find a click here to register, and that'll take you to, in this case, it was an Eventbrite link. That was a while ago, but we try to provide a direct link that takes you to the course over here in our course site. Okay.
Right.
It's a lot. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to see if we have any questions as we wrap up. I know it's a lot of information, but it's in the end, if you bookmark the teachers page of the website and the community page in our learning community, and if you check those settings of your personal profile so that you receive notifications, now we've got a really easy way to communicate with each other. Okay, and you won't feel, hopefully you won't feel in the dark. Questions or comments? Hi, Peggy. You're muted right now. So you want to unmute yourself? Here, I'll invite you to unmute.
That's fast. Okay. I wonder, I think you answered my question. I can bookmark the community for everybody page. That takes care of me. Is there any shortcut if I'm trying to direct somebody else, or do I have to say, okay, go to Color Vowel, click on teachers, under teachers, click on, well, anyway, is there any shortcut to get there fast?
Sure. So one little trick, because once you're logged in, whatever links you find, like let's say if I get to the teachers community, this link won't work for people if they're not already logged in. So you can open up what's called, hold on, what's called where did I get my incognito window, Jennifer?
You go over to file. Yeah.
There we go. So if you see here, I have a kebab menu. I can go to new incognito window.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And from there, if you're trying to, sort of show.
Or really, just tell them to go to learn.colorval.com, tell them to browse. And one of the very first things they should see is the teachers community. It should be like the very first thing.
Or you could even just grab this link, collections.
Collections. Okay. learn.colorval.com/products/communities/teachers-community.
No. It's just this simple thing right here. So, oh, I see. You're not seeing my incognito window here.
No, I'm not.
So the reason I use an incognito window is because it then takes out the factor that I'm logged in and just shows what the public can see.
It shows you like what somebody who's not a member.
So there's the collections. Yeah. And then I'll just send this in chat just for convenience.
So if they go to learn.colorval.com, go to browse all courses, the very first thing is the teachers community. We put it right there to make it easy.
Or yes, you could, okay, learn dot, etc. Then hit browse, then here's teachers community, first thing on the agenda. Okay, that answers that one.
You could even, Peggy, I mean, for any of these, again, when you're not, see how I'm not signed in? Even if I click on this and I just want to go directly, I can use that URL. So just go to what you want them to see, not signed in, and that link will work for them. If you,
Shortest, simplest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially if you're talking about pure practice for learners, we don't want to give multi-step instructions for them. So I would grab this and just copy and paste it. And I wouldn't, that way they don't have to go anywhere except join.
That has not come up so much, but that is, probably the best. Yeah.
Okay.
Got another question.
Sure.
On your mini intonations, I've been looking at them. I've been working with prosody with my students, and I have come to the realization that my intonation is not the same as a lot of other people's when it comes to what they call new information, old information. And that's within,
sorry, I have to add that you were just doing the intonation that I was teaching. That was so much fun. New information and old information.
Yes. And this is within a conversation, of course. That's the context. And the books that I've read all pretty much are in accord. New stuff and old stuff, falling and rising. Well, I found some YouTube also demos, I don't say things the same way. I just don't.
I'm gonna
Uh,
say you do.
I'm gonna
Because
disagree
listening to
too.
you talk, you do it.
You do
I
it.
do. I
If
do.
you didn't do what we do, it would be very weird. I mean, there is a fundamental unconscious agreement
Mhm.
in place right now, as we speak at this moment, that allows us to understand one another's implicature, and you're doing it. I would, I
Well,
mean,
I
yeah,
think people understand me okay.
sure.
I mean,
And
I think people understand me, and I'm listening to the demos. I hear somebody in a dialogue and blah, 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 and I have no problem understanding them. But I think if I were saying that, I would say it differently. And maybe it's just that my way is just as valid, but for other reasons. But I've been bothered by the fact that well, I've always told my students, okay, here's a really good video. Do it the way they do it in the video at Oxford Online English. Don't do it the way I do it. They're the real experts.
interesting.
And,
Peggy, I would still maintain you might think that you don't do the same thing because phonological awareness plays with our minds, basically. So you
True.
can have the impression that you don't do the same thing, but I'd argue that I think you do,
okay,
because
that's a relief.
I would be on edge right now. Like I'd be having an existential crisis if essentially, unless I say, oh, she's British, and therefore she says, have you picked up the cat yet? The cat yet? It's like a different intonation, and then I
Yes,
can
it
pigeonhole
is.
it.
Okay,
But-
I'm typing a sentence into the chat. I want you to just read it like it was a line of dialogue, okay? You're the first person speaking in this dialogue.
I'm the first person.
Go.
I need to buy some new shoes.
You're very dramatic, first of
Yes,
all. But would
Yeah.
you really say, I need to buy, or would you just say, I need to buy some new shoes? I mean, you're just talking.
I was a drama major for a while in college. So
I think
there's
that
a
I
good,
think that's why I think you're being a little, I don't want to say melodramatic, but just a little, you're just talking to Doug. You just met
yeah, okay.
Doug on the street and he said, what are you up to? And you said, well,
That may be the problem because in a class, yes, to get things across, I am often melodramatic and learning and using things that I would have done in drama class in college.
Yes.
That might be the difference.
I think, I mean, a lot of us think of teaching as performance. You
a
have to
certain-
go
yeah.
in and we all leave that hour and a half, 2-hour class completely drained.
Yes.
We've been pantomiming and gesturing and over perhaps not correctly, but perhaps over articulating. And I think but if you think about how you would just, say to, your friend, well, I need to buy some shoes.
Yeah.
I need
What
to
are you
buy
doing
some
today?
shoes.
I need to buy
What's
some
the
shoes.
most important word
Yeah.
there?
Shoes.
Shoes. That's the new information, right?
Right.
And so here, then I would say, me answering you, I would say,
What kind of shoes do you need to get?
okay.
Kind is
So
the new
what kind
information.
of shoes do you
Mhm.
need to get? So that's a question, and it's not at all unusual for the information part of an information question to be stressed a little
Stressed.
bit. But what kind of shoes do you need to get?
Yeah.
Get it's either going to be need to get or need to get.
Mhm.
That's where you've got that pitch change. So in fact, that will be the focus word for that. So it might be two thought groups.
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And we're
Okay.
not built to do this. This is the other thing. We can end up tricking ourselves because, in the most natural sense, I would hear, oh, what kind of shoes do you need to get?
It's kind that is
What kind,
most,
what kind of shoes do you need to get? What kind of shoes do you need to get?
Mhm.
So, you know, if we go really fast speech and really off the cuff,
What kind of
then
shoes
we
do you
can slow
need to
down.
get? Mhm,
What
yeah,
kind of
okay.
shoes do you need to get? Yeah.
To me, it's two thought groups with kind and either
And
need or get, you know, depending on your stress. And so I think you do it. I think maybe you're tapping into your drama
Right.
a little too much.
That might be the problem when I'm teaching. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh, that was a
you.
fun conversation. So if anybody who's watching this recorded session, first of all, I applaud you if you made it to the end. But there are bookends on this thing. The first opening dialogue was with Now about, what was the conversation about?
You're
Oh,
talking about Hiroshima.
Hiroshima versus Hiroshima, and you know, that kind
Mhm.
of thing. And then this ending conversation about our own perception of our own intonation, which is fascinating. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Any final comments or questions or wishes that, because Jennifer and I are always just hanging around on weekends with nothing to do. That's not true. We're always working feverishly, trying to like pretend that we're not working. But seriously, if you have any final questions or wish list items, we'd always love to know.
Oh.
Yeah. You just said that after you turned off the fire hose.
Mhm.
Definitely. You know, if there is anything about our new system of doing things that really puzzles you, let us know and we can try and make it easier. But like I say, you're going to see a few changes to the interface on our learning platform that
Yeah.
hopefully will make it a little easier to navigate and a little easier to find what you're looking for. So.
All
Okay,
right.
so Karen, do we still, how do we get changes fixed in Blue Canoe? Because I keep waiting for Entrepreneur to get fixed, and I know I've sent a couple of emails and
Good. Well, let me first thank our
Not happening.
audience for watching, and we'll continue
Okay.
with informal conversation. Thanks
All right.
again. Here we go.